Thank you very much, guys, for coming here directly after the lunch break. I hope that nobody is feeling hungry. Everybody is full with energy and is already pumped up, like Paul and I am pumped up for this presentation here, where we're going to talk about absolutely crush it with ASO and Apple Search Ads, SplitMetrics, and AutoTrader case studies. Before we jump into it, please give us some time to introduce ourselves. Paul.
Yes, thank you, Thomas. So I'm Paul Davey, Senior Mobile Marketing Manager at AutoTrader here in the UK. I've been with the business around 5 years, believe it or not. And I guess one of the reasons I'm here today is because I love apps. And if I'm being very honest with everyone, I have a bit of a guilty pleasure in that I play Minecraft quite a bit on my iPhone. And for some reason, I find it absolutely terrifying to play. So if anyone's played Minecraft and they've come up against the warden, please do share your tips, because I still haven't figured how to kind of defeat him. And one other point is I am running a marathon in Copenhagen in about 10 days' time. So being a marathon runner, I have to tell absolutely everyone that I'm doing a marathon.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Paul. My name is Thomas Kriebernegg. I'm the General Manager over here at the SplitMetrics agency. As you can hear probably from my Arnold Schwarzenegger-inspired dialect, I'm born and raised in Austria. I'm an ex-hardcore gamer and a hobby DJ. I can look back into 20 years of experience in digital marketing, around about 13 years of experience in app marketing. I personally launched more than 50 apps and games. Founded the company of AppRadar, which probably is also a name to some of you guys here, in the year of 2015. And since the end of last year, AppRadar became part of SplitMetrics. Just very briefly, only one slide about SplitMetrics. SplitMetrics is an all-in-one ecosystem for mobile growth products and services for rapid scale. SplitMetrics was the first Apple Search Ads management platform out there. It's an official Apple partner. SplitMetrics Optimize was the first A/B testing platform out there in the market. AppRadar is the #1 App Store optimization tool. And within the SplitMetrics agency, we're helping our clients when it comes to paid and organic user acquisition. Paul, do you have some words about AutoTrader?
Yes. So AutoTrader, a very quick show of hands. Who has used AutoTrader? Not necessarily that. You can say, oh my word. Has anyone bought a car through AutoTrader? Oh, wow. Adam, there you go. So for those that perhaps don't know AutoTrader, historically we were a car classified magazine founded around the late 70s, believe it or not, and we were selling up to 1 million physical copies a week. And in 2007, sorry, actually, if I go to the late 90s first, we founded the website. And believe it or not, that was a year before kind of Google actually came to fruition. In 2007, the website started to generate more revenue than the magazine. And in 2010, we launched our first iOS app, thanks to a very plucky individual in the web development team who had a thing for kind of iOS apps. So today, over 60% of ad views are viewed on the mobile app. We have over 500,000 people every single day using the app. And as of just right now, we had over 450,000 vehicles available for you to kind of search on the app. So we've got lots of data, as you can imagine, and I would like to just see what kind of car enthusiasts we perhaps have here. So as of last week, I've picked out 3 ad views that were available on the platform. I'm going to pronounce these very badly, but there is the Ferrari Pura-Sang for just over £500,000. There is the Bugatti Chiron, which I believe is the second fastest road car available, £2.65 million. And then finally, there is the Smart Car for a whopping £495. So the equivalent of a PS5, I think, roughly. So quick show of hands, which ad view do people think was the most viewed on AutoTrader last week? So let's start with the Ferrari. Hands up if you think it was the Ferrari. Oh, okay, not very many. One Ferrari fan, there you go. So who thinks it was the Bugatti Chiron? Okay, who thinks it was the Smart Car? Interesting, okay. So you've all fallen for the massive red herring. Very typically, we have a lot of car porn enthusiasts who look at the most expensive car on the platform. So the Bugatti Chiron was the most viewed car last week. I think it had around 13,000 ad views. But very interestingly, the Smart Car was 5th with 9,000 ad views. So it just shows the breadth of kind of cars and vehicles that are available on the platform at any one time. and obviously people searching for different things.
Perfect. No worries, I was also guessing the smart.
Yeah.
I'm with you guys. So what do we have on the agenda? We're going to start with the basics, ASO, UA, Apple Search Ads. Next, we're going to talk about the synergies between those channels. We're going to talk about limitations with App Store optimizations, how to break through them, as well as showing App Search Ads best practices, as well as successful results, winning competition with custom product pages, leveraging multi-ad strategy, as well as the case study Insights into AutoTrader, ASO and Apple Search Ads strategy. Paul is sharing here a really lot of intelligence and intel, so please be curious, yeah? Good, let's start with the basics. What is user acquisition? I mean, hands up, who thinks has an understanding of what user acquisition is? Yeah, okay. We could separate user acquisition between efforts that are more on the organic side and efforts that are on the paid side. Organic kind of means all the activities that I'm doing where I don't have to pay actually to get results. On the other hand side, paid user acquisition can be translated with running ads. So this means you're investing money, your app is advertised somewhere within the App Store or outside the App Store, and you're buying traffic, so to speak. When we talk about organic user acquisition, I would say we could say it's actually App Store optimization. And App Store optimization is a continuous process of improving your App Store listing to become more visible within the App Stores, to attract and convert the right users for your app. The benefits and the goals of it is you want to rank high on App Store search results for relevant keywords. Also very important, you want to rank high on relevant keywords. And once people see your app within the App Store, you want to obviously convince them to also smash the download button. When we talk about paid user acquisition, on the other hand side, once again, it describes the process of running ads on different channels, and you want to attract new users, ideally on scale. When we talk about, I would say, classically examples of paid UA channels, we're talking about Apple Search Ads, Google Ads, Meta Ads, TikTok Ads, but also using DSPs like SmartX or Moloko, for example. What you want to do is you want to run ads to attract relevant, new or returning users on the platforms where you think they are for your app, and you want to attract them that they're downloading your app. It is a continuous optimization process of the campaigns with the goal you want to increase the efficiency, or in other words, you want to save costs by continuously optimizing the targeting, the bidding, as well as the creatives. I would say one of the most prominent user acquisition channels that currently is out there, especially on the iOS side, obviously, is Apple Search Ads. It is really one of the fastest growing channels that we can see there. And it helps you. The reason for that is because it can help you to boost your app visibility within the App Store, where people are already that are looking for app, and you kind of can catch them in the right moment and show your app exactly when they're looking for app like yours. With the help of running search result campaigns, you can position yourself on the top position on specific keywords, and you can also leverage additional ad placements within the App Store to enhance the visibility and also get more people or make more people aware of your app. So, quick test. We are trying it with Slido as well. Slido is an online tool where you can vote. So please, I would ask you to try to scan the QR code or go to slido.com and enter the code APS 2024. And ideally, if everything is working, you should see this question. Yeah, we're getting in the first votes. The question is, are you already aligning your ASO and Apple Search Ads strategy? Yeah, okay. I think we can say we have a winner here. So nearly 60% of the audience is getting started with aligning ASO and Apple Search Ads. So good news, you're at the right lecture here at the best workshop for exactly this topic at the APS. 33% are already doing it, so amazing. And for the 10% not yet, hopefully we can convince you that you also start doing it. Good, let's talk about the synergies. Why ASO and paid user acquisition go hand in hand. Here, number one, and really the most important statement is ASO should always be the central pillar in every user acquisition strategy. Why? Simply speaking, no matter where you're advertising your app, If it's through influencer marketing, if it's on Google, if it's on social, if it's on word of mouth, TV, whatever, all the people that are seeing your ad will land on the App Store page. And this is exactly the place where you need to convince them to really also click the download button. And not only that, with gathering all this information, and especially when we're also talking about Apple search ads in concrete, you get also the answer to one of the biggest questions out there around App Store optimization. And this is the question, which keywords do actually bring in stores as well as revenue and not only impressions within the App Store? When we talk about the key synergies now, looking very specifically at ASO and Apple search ads, both of the channels are keyword-based channels. So obviously there is a very strong interconnection between the ASO strategy as well as the ASA strategy, and you can improve keyword rankings through targeted bidding, which means on the ASA side, you can really search for the keywords, or you can bid on the keywords that are the most relevant for your app. It also helps you to gather insights. Once again, which keywords bring me money at the end of the day, I think is the big question. And with the help of this combination, you can figure it out. When we talk about combined benefits, we can talk about boosted reach, which means that Apple search ads, once again, is not only showing up on search results, there are 4 placements within the App Store. So once again, it's a really great channel to also boost your visibility and your brand awareness within the App Store. You can achieve higher conversion rates if you align the both strategies with each other, as well as you can achieve a strategic alignment between Apple search ads, ASO, and once again, it should help you to also optimize your return on investment on the Apple search ads campaigns that you are running. A little bit more going into deep, why Apple search ads can also be an amazing data source for ASO. And also here, I think the very important statement already upfront, yeah, when we talk about ASO, it should not be a guesswork. It should be really a data-driven approach. So this means with the help of ASA, you can do keyword mining. You are getting suggestions directly from the Apple Search Ads platform. You can also use a tool like SplitMetrics Acquire, for example, which also helps you finding the best keywords for your app. You can measure the data of conversion rates on keywords, so you can figure out the conversion rates on a specific keyword level as well as the tap-through rate. You can identify the search popularity, or in other words, how many people are actually searching for a specific keyword within the App Store. And you can mix and match that all together and get post-in-store and can analyze post-in-store metrics like retention rates as well as revenue.
Thomas, if I may, just to back this up, something we've done at AutoTrader is, and I'm going to come on to this on on the latter slides, but we've absolutely used a number of keyword mining tools to obviously find particularly longer tail kind of keywords. So I think there's kind of a misconception that it has to be like a single word, but really those 2 to 3 word kind of keywords that kind of stack up, like buy cars or buying kind of car apps, have really kind of been invaluable to us, and we've been able to then feed those back into the metadata to kind of really try on the ASO side as well.
Amazing. Thank you very much for sharing this insight. Cool. And now let's talk on the other way, impact of ASO on Apple search ads. Here also very important to mention, if you identify good keywords on Apple search ads, be sure to include those keywords also into your organic App Store listing on your ASO site, so to speak, because it will help you to rank better for those keywords, as well as it will help you to save costs on those keywords. We did here really a lot of experiments, and it always was the same result. If you get your amazing keywords also into your organic App Store listing, your results on Apple search ads will simply be better. As well as with the help of ASO, you can do continuous optimization of the screenshots with the goal to increase the tap-through rate. Also here, very important, this is what you want to optimize with the screenshots. And if you have high-performing ASO visuals, so meaning for your App Store listing, ideally for different languages, it will always be a very good base because the traffic will always be coming to this optimized screenshots already, which will have ideally higher conversion rates, which will get you better results and save you costs.
Thomas, sorry, just on point 1, can I ask a question here? So, yes. Sorry, I'm going to put him on the spot. At AutoTrader, we've seen some of our strongest growth this year from competitive keywords across Apple search ads, where we've really been able to kind of generate some strong share of voice. I just wonder then, conversely, I know there's a bit of challenge about whether we should be able to use those in our metadata. So I just wondered if you've got any thoughts about whether we can use competitive terms across our metadata.
Totally. A really interesting question, Por. Before I give my opinion, asking the audience, do you use competitor keywords within your metadata? If yes, please raise your hands. Nearly 40%. I would also say it depends. Yeah, it really depends kind of the category of your app. I think it also depends a little bit on the luck that you have with the Apple review team, because very often it can happen that you get a metadata rejection and they tell you, hey, do not use competitor names within your metadata. Smart trick here, if you put them into the English-Spanish translation, this is where normally the Apple review team doesn't find them. So this is a quite good way how to sneak through the review process, I would say. And this is also, to be honest, off record, what I would also recommend you guys doing, yeah?
It's totally on record.
Good, but now let's also talk a little bit about the limitations. Once again, as mentioned, I don't change my statement. ASO should be the central pillar of your user acquisition strategy. But you should be also aware that there are some limitations with this channel. On the one hand side, we're talking about long learning curve. I think, if you put the keyword into your title and you're hoping, okay, next day I'm going to see increased rankings. Yeah, most likely not is the answer. Yeah, it can really take weeks. It can take up to months until you really start ranking in good positions for keywords and then figure out, actually the keyword that I was optimizing for is actually not that relevant for my app. And then you start over again. Yeah. So this is one of the biggest limitations that you have here. We were also talking about that you only have one App Store listing, your organic App Store listing, assuming that you're not running any A/B tests at the moment, yeah? But this also means that no matter what keyword people are searching for, they're always landing on your same App Store page, which means you have no possibility to craft any customized user journeys based on the search requests of the users, because once again, one App Store listing always shown at the same place. As well as there is no tracking possibility to analyze the performance of organic keywords and their impact on lower funnel in-app events. So for example, like purchase or starting a subscription or buying something within your app. Question is now, how can we bridge the gap here? Which possibilities do we have? Let's talk about the solution. The solution is that with the help of custom product pages, you can set up different ad variants or let's say different user journeys based on specific search requests that are people having within the App Store. So it helps you, or let's start with where you can do it. You can do it within App Store Connect, where you can set up different custom product pages. For the ones that are not yet using it or are not 100% sure what exactly is custom product pages, I would translate it as ad variation, sorry, for different search result campaigns, which means that you can craft different user journeys for people searching for an app. Por is going to show us an amazing result, as you can imagine, for Auto Trader selling and buying a car. I mean, it's not exactly the same use case, it's completely the opposite. And we're gonna tap into this also a little bit later. You can align your ad variations based on your keyword groups. So this means you can really cluster keywords for specific use cases, and then you can show the specific custom product pages exactly for those use cases. It will help you to optimize and find out which user intent drives you the most downloads as well as the most revenue. Once again, because you can analyze the different clusters, and you can see it as the connecting link between App Store optimization and Apple Search Ads tactics.
Cool, over to me. Thank you, Thomas. And I was just thinking while I was standing here that I've sat on that side of the fence for many APS events and learned a tremendous amount. And it's just nice to, if a little nerve-wracking, to perhaps stand up here and give something back to obviously people as well. So hopefully over the next few slides, you'll learn a little bit about Auto Trader, also some things for kind of Apple Search Ads. So just wanted to really share a handful of examples around how Auto Trader has leveraged both the platform capabilities and new features of Apple Search Ads to maximize the boost it delivers to ASO. And there's kind of a handful of areas that I'm going to cover off. So keyword mining, automation, brand protection, controversially, and custom product pages and multi-placement ad strategy. So Auto Trader has been using, by the way, Auto Trader has been using Apple Search Ads as an ad partner for several years. And for us, it remains our biggest paid source of iOS app downloads. It's around 55% today. We added SplitMetrics Acquire into the mix in 2000 23, and it has significantly elevated the performance of our overall campaigns. So our downloads have jumped 15%, our tap-through rate has jumped by a massive 50%, and the combined impact has driven our cost per download down by 25%. So today I'm just going to share a handful of the best practices that have really helped us deliver these amazing results. So as Thomas mentioned, there is a very clear relationship between ASO and Apple search ads that can't be undervalued. And I think the one area where you can really leverage the strength of both of these is across ASO and search ads in terms of helping you go and mine some keywords. So in our world of Auto Trader, I've particularly been looking at kind of competitive intelligence tools from our ASO partners, understanding what kind of keywords are our competitors kind of bidding on and kind of ranking for, to then share them into kind of search ads. And then I've complemented that with some of the SplitMetrics acquire tools that kind of Thomas has mentioned. So there is a keyword gap intelligence to identify those kind of missed opportunities where some of our competitors are not bidding. I will say that Apple does also recommend keywords, so it's worth looking at those. And then we have also run a discovery campaign. So the combination of all of those kind of keywords, we're then able to kind of really assess the relevance of these keywords by looking at tap-through rate, conversion rate, to really identify those hidden gems. And obviously for those great ones, you can then import those back into your metadata to see how that then boosts your organic ranking. So SplitMetrics. I am not here to sell SplitMetrics. I actually asked them to join me doing this one. So please don't, I haven't been paid to do this by SplitMetrics, basically. But one of the biggest drivers for us in using SplitMetrics was the ability to kind of enrich the Apple search ads data set. So particularly from our side, we work with Branch as our MMP. And yes, manually you can join the two together, but I'm kind of one person and just the whole process is very laborious and time consuming. So being able to kind of bring these together in a single kind of platform has really kind of given me a much deeper understanding of how our Apple search ads are performing. And I guess one of the key things here is it's that the downstream events that we have within Branch, like ad views or leads, that we can now match with the Apple search ad data set to understand the impact and conversion of those particular things. And I then think, secondly, kind of the one thing that has made a significant change for us is being able to kind of build automation rules using those events. So it's dramatically increased the frequency of changes that we make, from pausing non-performing keywords to kind of increasing cost per tap or identifying changes in share of voice. It truly has been a massive set of kind of helping hands.
Here's just one quick question, Paul. Could you imagine all this work doing it manually without using a tool?
I think again, it's not that it's impossible to do. Absolutely you can. And again, if you have the resources and staffing power to do it, then absolutely it can be done. But I think in instances where we're kind of very limited for kind of resource, it just has transformed the way that we kind of really can look at kind of our Apple search ads campaigns.
Thanks.
So this one is perhaps a little bit controversial. And again, I know people will have differences of opinion on this one, but we do choose to run a brand defense campaign. So I know for some of you in the room, you may view this as a bit of an unnecessary kind of spend where cannibalization of organic installs is likely to be occurring. But I just wanted to share the merits of why we choose to do this at Auto Trader. So there's kind of four main reasons. So firstly, the Auto Trader brand is an incredibly powerful keyword with obviously a lot of heritage, a lot of trust. It's got a pretty broad kind of audience, and the volume of kind of traffic that goes to that is obviously very high. So it is clearly very appealing for other direct competitors or indirect competitors to come and try and steal our traffic. Now, we absolutely obviously do look at the performance numbers here and try to assess the cost of cannibalization. So basically looking at that, we've assessed that it's actually 28% cheaper to protect a branded install versus to go and steal a competitor's. Thirdly, there are clearly times when the threat is lessened. You know, we have a seasonal trend, particularly Jan to kind of April, where we see a lot of competitive spend, but perhaps in the summer months, away from kind of license plate changes, it's perhaps a little bit less likely to be attacked. The great thing about SplitMetrics is we can use the share of voice metrics to see that who's challenging us and to dial down our defense spend if need be. And then the last one, which I think is a fairly new one that I'm going to come onto in a second, but we now have obviously custom product pages, as many of you know. We can actually target, different kind of features and communication at this auto trader set of users through our search results. So again, it's giving us a unique opportunity to talk to them in a slightly different way versus how we would perhaps use category or competitive keywords. So Thomas touched on custom product pages, and I just wanted to share our early experiences of how we've got on with these. So I think perhaps first question, again, I know not all of you have used AutoTrader, but for those that perhaps do know AutoTrader, how many of you think that AutoTrader is simply about used cars? Come on, you're all hiding. Okay, a small percentage. I don't believe you for a second, but anyway. Well, I don't think it will surprise anyone if you go to the next slide, sorry. I don't think it will surprise anyone to learn that AutoTrader isn't simply about used cars. Yes, we have an awful lot of used cars on the site at any one time, but as of, again, I was looking 10 minutes ago, there were about 35,000 new cars. There were 20,000 electric cars. You can search by different makes and models. You can adjust the price to look for cars under £5,000. You can buy a car, you can lease a car, you can sell a car, you can value your car. We have vans, we have bikes, we have motorhomes, we have caravans, and we have tractors as well. I think there was 5,000 tractors again when I was just looking. So there is a broad array of things that we want to try and communicate to our app audience. And simply, it isn't possible to do that within the screenshots that you have, right? 10 screenshots, let alone the 3 that the vast majority kind of look at. So custom product pages is really a huge godsend for us, because now we can start to dial up our content around bikes and create some bespoke custom product pages that specifically talk about bikes and drive traffic, relevant traffic through to those particular pages. So just before I share one of the examples, I know we're just going to do another Slido, I think, Thomas.
Let's see, because it says I lost.
Oh, okay. Or maybe we'll do it hand holding.
Second, let me.
If not, we can do it.
Let's try. Let's see. There
you go.
There we go. Next Slido question. You should be able, if you open the website that you just visited previously, you should already see the new question. Otherwise, you can start again, scan the QR code, or go to slido.com and enter APS 2024. Okay, yeah, looks like we have the results in, yeah. Around about half of the audience is no-ish, just getting started with custom product pages. As we can see, one of the biggest use cases for what they are currently being used is to target various audience segments. And the next use case that we have is to highlight different features or game characters, depending if you have an app or game. And yes, of course, will be the summary of we are doing both of them.
And yeah, exactly in the same place, right? We've just started to kind of explore what we can do with custom product pages. And Thomas touched on it. We have a very simple kind of example that I was going to share around kind of car buying versus car selling. And again, it's a really subtle change. So we haven't particularly thrown caution to the wind and gone very radical with our design. But AutoTrader, you obviously have the ability to sell privately, but we also have the ability for you to kind of do an instant cash offer and sell your car more rapidly if you choose to. So we've really tried to dial up those features and just call out a few new screenshots, change the messaging to obviously be talking specifically about car selling. And really interesting, the results have proven already that we've seen kind of an increase of tap-through rate of 12%. Conversion rate is up. Conversion rate to install is up 1%. Our downloads on these car selling related terms is up 8%. And as a result of that, the cost per install is down 20%. So already very small test. We just obviously got a small proportion of selling keywords, but already we're kind of seeing some really tremendous kind of uplift. And hopefully that's going to now encourage us to do even more across the broad array of kind of different feature sets that we have.
So can I ask a question?
Sure.
How do you measure this uplift? Because that's not possible to run A/B tests. So
yeah.
I just compare the data before and after and try to avoid external factors?
Yes, it's a really good question, and you're right. In terms of like removing seasonal trends is not easy to do at the moment. There's obviously no capability. So yes, we are trying to compare and run kind of the tests very closely together. So it isn't the easiest thing to perhaps do on the Apple side of things. So at the moment, this is based on kind of the pre and post kind of period of running those two activities. Yeah.
Are you also using kind of a tool to measure the significance of the test?
Not really, no. So again, it's not perhaps the most scientifically run test, but at the moment we've run a few of these, and we are definitely seeing kind of the increases across the board of a few of these. So yeah, cool. Right, so finally just wanted to pick up on the exciting opportunity that exists around ad placement opportunities within the Apple search ad platform that I think many of you have now obviously heard about. AutoTrader, we've been using search results ad format very successfully to target those users who are very specifically looking for an app related to their particular search term. However, scalability can be a real challenge for us, as there just only so many relevant keywords that we can bid on and maintain kind of the KPIs that we have set. So for AutoTrader, this is where utilizing different ad placements has helped us to overcome scalability limits, enabling us to reach a larger App Store audience, increasing both downloads, but also brand awareness, as we enable more people to see and learn about the app. So just before I share some of the results, again, I think we've just got our final Slido just to kind of pop up there.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, looks good. Once again, you know the process. How have you already tested other Apple search ads placements? Yes, the search tab. Yes, the Today tab. Yes, on product pages. I'd like to test other placements. I think it's also possible to do multiple choice. Yeah, no, I think we're getting to a result of this poll. Yeah. I think we are there. Yeah. So, yes, search tab seems to be kind of the most prominent one here, followed by ads on product pages, and after that the Today tab. And at the end, can we see around about 1/3 of the audience would like to test other placements as well.
Next one. Yeah, so just to back that up, interestingly, we have kind of started to test the different placements, but I think the one that has given us the particular success has been the new search tab format. So where we're placing that at the point where users obviously have just kind of clicked the search and they're not quite sure what they're kind of searching for. I think I scribbled down a note here that official Apple data indicates that more than 70% of App Store visitors use search to discover apps. So it's a great opportunity to expose the AutoTrader app to a larger number of users across the App Store. It doesn't mean that they necessarily have intent to download AutoTrader, but the cost per tap model has given us the confidence to try this placement. And in terms of the results that we've seen, again, we're only a few months into it, but we've seen a 3x increase in the number of impressions that we've kind of had. So the visibility has dramatically kind of increased. We've seen an 18% reduction in the cost per lead across our overall App Store ad campaigns. And lastly, a really interesting one, and again, it's not necessarily easy to isolate it purely to this campaign, sadly, but we've seen a 6% increase in the number of ASO kind of branded keywords that we track for kind of AutoTrader. So I think it's very clear that the visibility of our brand has grown. Again, can't solely say it's down to this, but it's definitely a contributing factor that has kind of helped. So I think across the board, hopefully, you'll agree that it's quite clear that Apple search ads can play a very pivotal role in terms of impacting the performance of ASO activity.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Por. Just very briefly to mention, since we talked a lot about SplitMetrics Acquire, please feel free to take a screenshot. You see all the amazing features that will help you to scale up your Apple search ads and save time while doing so. We also have a starter plan, which you can get started for free. Please just come to us. We are having a booth over there in the networking table area, and the team will be happy to show you more details. As well as, last but not least, since I'm managing the agency, I also have to say one word about the agency. If you should need some help with your organic paid user acquisition, how to mix and match everything, how together, different channels, Apple search ads, ASO, TikTok, Meta, Google, you name it, please feel free to also contact me. We're super happy to help you as well. And last but not least, we have some key takeaways. And these are that Apple search ads can have a positive impact on your ASO strategy, as we learned today. Multi-placement ad strategy can boost your app's visibility and performance on the App Store, as also have we seen from the example of Por. And last but not least, ad variations using custom product pages are really helpful for highlighting different features of your app, as well as for targeting different segments of your audience. If you would like to get in contact with us, we have some QR codes here. After having shown you 3 times how to scan QR codes, I'm sure you have the skills now to also scan those QR codes here. They will link to our LinkedIn page. Feel free to connect with us. Once again, you will find also both of us over here at the APS running around. If there should be any questions, just come to us. We're happy to chat with you guys. Thank you very much for the participation. Also for the Slido participation was really nice. And wishing you an amazing rest of the day.
Thank you.